Hello, welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons Basics from Dice to Roleplay. This is our last episode before we get into some mock battles, so you can see the game in action, at least the battling. But before we get into the combat scenarios and how all that works out in the end, it would be nice to talk a little bit about how you role play. This game isn't just about fighting monsters and slaying beasts, it's also about having fun with your friends and getting into a role, some character that you've created in this new fantastic world your DM is creating for you. So let's talk a little bit about what exactly it takes to be a role player. First of all, you need to embrace your character. Dungeons and Dragons is at its core a role-playing game, and that means you've got to be your character. Do a voice, plan ahead, write a short backstory, do your homework so that your character seems like a real person, not just this static thing that you're doing for the game. The game is so much more fun when everybody's involved and they actually act like their characters. So try to get into it. I know it's harder for some more than others, and if that's the case, work with your DM and try to come up with some easy character traits to embody for your character. Of course, you're going to want to be cooperative in this game, not combative. Dungeons and Dragons is a cooperative game that you're playing with friends, right? So you don't need to be openly hostile and rude to your players, and you definitely don't need to be hostile to your DM, who's running the game for you. Don't be a dick. Play and have fun. Don't be a jerk just because your character is supposed to be one. If you're going to play a character that's a jerk on purpose, maybe you shouldn't be playing. Do your best to be courteous and use some teamwork while you're playing with your friends. Think about how your character is going to react to different stimuli. As a player, your character is going to have to react and respond to all sorts of things. Are they afraid of something? Do they have some sort of memory that might trigger something in them? It may be a good idea to think about how this person you've created is going to react to challenges and triumphs, right? If they fail, are they going to mope or are they going to get past it? All these things are things you have to think about a little bit as you play the game. It's possible to improvise these things, but it might be helpful to have a plan going into it, just something to think about. You might also want to incorporate the lore from the world and maybe create a level 2. Your DM has worked hard to create lore for the world you're entering, so make sure you utilize that lore to make your character deeper. If the DM mentions some long forgotten war and you're a former soldier, that means you probably participated in it. Maybe you should think about how your character was a part of it. But of course, you're also a chaotic force in the DM's world. You are different. You don't get to have to fit neatly in line with everything the DM wants. Don't be afraid to create some lore as well. Do something goofy. Do something you think might happen in this world. You're a part of it and you get to add to it. Characters seem more dynamic if they fit into the world they're in, so take notes on places and people so you can use that knowledge when you're trying to talk with others. Also, you're going to be talking with your other characters. You have a chance to talk with everybody else. You don't need to be a Shakespearean actor to deliver excellent dialogue. You just need to be in character. Simple and effective talking styles can be just as fun as engaging as a ridiculous accent or a weird speech pattern. Don't be afraid to stay simple. It may just make your life easier, and it can make the game a lot more fun. Of course, you're also playing with other people, so since this game's cooperative, you can lean on other players to help you develop your character and their quirks. If other players are talking with you in a certain way, you can develop relationships with them, make jokes within the game, and all sorts of other things to make your character feel like a real person. Having an in-game friend that you gravitate towards can help you flesh these things out without having to come up with all of it on your own. And then, of course, be respectful of all the people in the room. You're playing with people, ultimately, and they have their own history, personality, and experience. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be a jerk just to be a jerk. Make sure you're being nice and caring about the people that you're deciding to spend time with. Otherwise, what's the point? Thank you guys so much for watching Dungeons and Dragons from Dice to Roleplay. Next time, we will be exploring combat, and we'll be doing some mock battles. I have 3 mock battles planned, and I will try my best to capture them in film and allow you to see kind of how the game works combat-wise. Maybe we'll even try to do a mock role play at some point after this with a friend of mine. We'll see. Regardless, look forward to those battles, and I hope to see you watching some more Dungeons & Dragons from Dice to Roleplay. Thanks again,